So, hi friends, welcome to our new video, in which we are going to discuss the dynamic process override into the TIBCO BW6, and this we have implemented by using the JMS activities which coming with the TIBCO BW6, and this JMS based implementation is the synchronous communication. So we have the one JMS sender which is publishing the request and waiting for the response. So what happens basically if we have the multiple sub processes in our normally when we design or develop the any TIBCO BW6 application or in which we prefer the modularizations. So what we basically do, we break the processes into the sub processes to make the each and every sub processes as an atomic unit of the one. So in that way our sub process creation will make our application a very loosely coupled. So and on the basis of the different functionality we will able to track and will able to design or make the changes. So while we are created the multiple sub processes, now TIBCO provide the two ways to how we can call our sub processes. So one is the by using the transition normally which we have used, like in which basically we drag and drop each and every sub processes, and on the basis of the transition XPATH expression we call it. The TIBCO also provide a different approach which is called the dynamic process override, which means that during the runtime lets the process engine to decide which process needs to be called. So that will, from the design perspective, it will make our design simple, and which is not going to take the like the big screen where we can say the multiple sub processes and that are attached to the multiple transitions. So we will see it quickly. So how we are going to implement. So here I have already developed one TIBCO BW6 application. So I will just go through what I have done here. So this is my router process. So this is basically going to receive the JMS messages, and that is going to log. It is going to call the main processes. We will see what is happening to the main processes. Once it is performing the operation, it is going to send the response back to the client and the point. So the output of this XML is the output of this activity is nothing but we are passing the operand 1, operand 2 and output. So to explain these things, I have taken one basic examples of the basic calculators in which we are performing the addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So the operand 1, operand 2 indicate the numbers, and opcode like add, sub, multi, this is going to indicate our what you can say the operations. So this is the XML which we are passing. We are going to log this XML. We are going to log this. We are just logging one of the logger. We are passing this string to the main processes. Just going to the main processes. So here we will see it is receiving the same output. Now it is going to call one of the default processes. So whenever we create any like dynamic process override, so we have to make sure like this is the recommended practice where we have to use the the default sub process, which is nothing but the else statement. You can say like if none of the if statement is getting executed, so default one is getting called. So I will show you how I have used this dynamic process named dynamic override. So this is my default. So So this default you'll say it is doing nothing. So it's receiving, it's simply logging and indicating default process. This is the invalid output. So now we are going to quickly see what is the XPATH application, how this dynamic process. So we can see, so this is the nomenclature in which, or we can say the fashion or format in which we need to call the subprocess. So I am checking if the start of code equals to add, then it is going to call this add subprocess. If the start of code is sub, then it is going to call the subprocess for the subtract subprocess. If it is the merge, then it is going to the merge subprocess. If it is div, it is going for the division subprocess. Else it is going to the default process. So this is the way. So we can here see when our our request is going to be received here. So during the runtime, it is the responsibility of the process engine to basically decide which process I need to call. So the process is getting loaded during the runtime. So one of the we have also noticed, like while we have worked on the TIBCO BW5. So there is the in the TIBCO BW5, like if you remember, so while you are creating the EAR, you have to make sure that if you have used the process dynamic override, and you need to explicitly add the sub processes, because the process dynamic override is not going to basically added into the your while you are creating the EAR automatically. So the reference is not getting evaluated during the design time, so that will be the captured during the runtime. So that was the recommended into the BW5 to explicitly add the sub processes which are the dynamic overridden while creating the ER. But here that is not going to be needed. So because only if you see here, we need to only give the component processes. So this is the the router processor. This is the test process. As per the BW6, you only need to make sure the component processes must be there. So this is going to decide how the subprocesses, and I'll just show you the add subprocesses. So this is going to simply do the operand 1, operand 2. It's returning the addition. So this is returning the division. This is returning the multiplication, and this is returning the subtraction. Okay, so let me try to test it. Okay, so one more thing I can show you. So this is the one of the test file test client I have created. So I am using the one file called trigger activity, which is going to read that file, and by using that JMS we can send on that queue, and then waiting for the reply. So let's see quickly how this looks like. So debugging it. Just wait. It's coming. Yes, so it's getting connected to the enterprise mode is set as the local, so it is getting connected. Yes. Yeah. So you can see the our application started BW application. So this is the my sample one of the XML I have taken it. So as a request, so let me pass through this like the operand 112, the operand 220, and I am calling it the add. I wanted to do the addition for that. Okay, so I will go here. here we can see, so this is the my test client. So the test client is the file, and then this the test, see the test. So here we add log, that's fine. So this is my router process. During its main, calling the main, just for the add. Okay, and you can see here the add process is got started and the result. So here in the log you can see like the field list with additions of process 42 received success. So now we can see like what I have given for the subtraction. So that we can here from the main process. I will use the add, I will use the sub, I will use the merge. So let's try the merge. Okay, these are the options. So this is the beauty of W6. You can see the dynamic perspective. So let's see the merge. So you can see how this. So you can see the multiplication. So this has run this time. Then the router process is triggered, then the trigger, and here we can see the multiplication sub process. So we can see, so this has triggered. Yeah, so here we can see the sub process as per our opcode. It is going to directly invoke the respective sub process. So in this video, we are able to see some of the file polar activity, how to use the mapper, how to use some logs, and how to also see the synchronous JMS communication and the dynamic process override. So hope you like this video. Thank you very much.